Okay, we're recording and I'm going to share the screen. Okay, you should be able to see that. If you can't, let me know. And I see everybody's muted. That's great. I was going to have everybody mute before we start, but so we'll get started. And let me just adjust one thing here. I'm kind of looking at the camera better. There we go. Okay, so I'm Rebecca Colby, and I'm happy to be here tonight to share a little bit on a topic that I'm really passionate about and I really enjoy talking about and helping people with, and that's nutrition. And we're going to talk tonight about core nutrition, and the format that we're going to use is this this health chat format using this Zoom video recording. And doing that, we're going to talk a little bit about Shaklee and building that into the healthy foundation, the core nutrition that we're going to talk about tonight. So I wanted to give you that background first. These slides were made by Shaklee Corporation, which is the company that I'm partnered with, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But we're also going to talk not just about supplementation and smart supplementation, but we're going to talk about other things as far as core nutrition, diet, what we should be, trying to increase in our diet and decrease with other things. So nutrition, food, exercise, foundational health, all of that plays a part of our overall health and well-being. And so my background is in music therapy. I'm a board certified music therapist. So I've worked in wellness and in healthcare, and I very much enjoy that. And when I found Shaklee, I rediscovered Shaklee when my first son was born. That's Andrew. I rediscovered it because we were looking for some safer cleaning products, and that was something that other moms had recommended to me. Now, some of you know my story that my parents had found Shaklee in the mid-1970s before I was born because my mother was having a lot of health issues, and her friend introduced her to Shaklee Nutrition, which we're going to talk about tonight, which helped her to have a health turnaround, rebuilding her health, and to avoid a surgery, and also to achieve a unexpected pregnancy, and that was with me. So I grew up with the products, but when I went away to college, I left them behind. I didn't think I needed vitamins. I couldn't remember to take them, and so during my childhood, I was a very healthy kid for the most part, but in my college years and beyond, until I rediscovered Shaklee, I wasn't. I was lacking a lot with diet, with the smart supplementation, and I developed things like allergies and eczema and contact dermatitis, acid reflux, many different health issues that looking back, I can see was because I wasn't taking care of myself. And so that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. And that's one of the things that why I do what I do now with Shaklee and with wellness and being a health coach is to help empower people and inspire them to add more leafy greens to their life. Maybe having a smoothie in the morning where we can add things in, or helping to add greens to your smoothie that you're sharing with your family. If you have picky eaters in your family, and that could be kids, that could be spouses, that could be yourself. And so there's different ways and things that I use, and tonight this is one of the formats. So I hope that this information is helpful to you. Now, I wanted to share just a little bit about my husband's background, and you can see him there. That's David. He is a pharmacist, and he's a chemist, and he works at the only natural product research center in the country, and that is at the University of Mississippi. We also call it Ole Miss. And David does research on pharmaceuticals and also supplementation, dietary supplements using natural products. So he's an expert with some of the things we're going to talk about as far as the supplements go tonight, just to give you his background. And when David started to look into the science behind Shaklee, he was really, really blown away by the third-party testing, the pharmaceutical standards, and everything, the integrity that goes behind everything we're going to talk about when we get to that point of it. So we started to use the products. I started to use the supplements after our second son was born at 34 weeks gestation, very sick. We were told Benjamin was going to have asthma, which he does not have. He's 6 years old now, almost 7, and he's a healthy kid. Both of our kids are very healthy, and we're really thankful to some of the knowledge I'm going to share with you tonight with diet, nutrition, encouraging good habits with them early on, and also with the smart supplementation piece. So this is a slide. I'm just going to give you the background about the supplement part that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And this is our 100 Years of Innovation slide, which I love. And I always like to stress that when you're looking for filling in gaps in your diet and your core nutrition because our food source is not what it used to be. You want to find a company and products that have the integrity, the science. And for me, this was so impressive when I started to look at the history that we have with Shaklee, which is the leading natural nutrition company in the United States. In 1915, Dr. Forrest Shaklee, who was a biochemist, a chiropractor, a pastor of his church, he developed the very first multivitamin, and that was called Vitalized Minerals, and that was in 1915, way ahead of his time. And in 1960, he made the very first biodegradable cleaning product, Base H. In 1961, he made the very first protein from the soy isolate. We're getting a little bit of feedback. I know that some people might be in on the phone. So if you can mute your line, that would be appreciated. If you're on the computer, it's in the bottom left. There's a little microphone there. You can just click mute so we don't get the background noise. Thank you for doing that. So you can look at this slide and you can see the history and the innovation. And I'm not going to talk through every single one of these, but it's something that is very unique to what we're going to talk about tonight. So that is Dr. Shaklee there. He's a young man here, and he believed that everything should be in harmony with nature as God intended. And so taking all of his products early on and the innovation that he had, keeping them in harmony with nature. And then we move forward to the current time where Roger Barnett, who bought our company in 2004, he is our CEO and a visionary. And he took Dr. Shaklee's original philosophy of everything being in harmony with nature as God intended and moved it into the current time. So guys, as you're coming on, if you could just mute either your phone, if you're on a phone, a cell phone, you can just hit the mute button, or mute your computer screen. That would be helpful so we don't have the background noise. So in Shaklee, the products go beyond organic. This is something that I get asked about a lot. And basically beyond organic, what that means is, it's reflecting that our quality standards go beyond how and where an ingredients are grown. And we really look to the purity and the potency of the ingredients from the creation of the product to the delivery of the customer. And that's really important. Again, something unique. We do this by conducting over 100,000 quality tests. Sorry, I jumped a slide. Over 100,000 quality tests, which is actually closer to 200,000 tests I've recently learned. And this is, we also screen for 350 contaminants, pesticides, and impurities in every new botanical ingredient. This is 3 times the required amount from the United States Pharmacopoeia. This is what really impressed my husband, David, with Shaklee, that we have over 120 published papers and scientific presentations, more than 70 patents and patents pending. And this is not an easy feat. I know this because this is what David does for a living. It's very difficult. And these published papers are in top peer-reviewed journals, medical journals, science journals, nursing journals, health journals, things like that. So, sorry.
Shaklee. Rebecca's got a little thing up here.
Hey Pam, can you mute? Can you mute your phone? We can hear your background noise a little bit. Pam, if you can hear me, and you can just hit the mute button on your cell phone or whatever device you're on, that would be appreciated. So I wanted to talk just briefly about the Landmark study. This is something that was done in 2007, about 10 years ago now at UC Berkeley. And basically what they were looking at is if supplements work and if brands do matter. And what they learned is that across the board, they were looking at a large group of Shaklee users who have been using Shaklee products for more than 20 years versus people who took no vitamins at all versus people who took XYZ multiple vitamin. And you can see here that across the board with the American Heart Association biomarkers for heart health, they found that the Shaklee group, whose average age was 63, was healthier. And this led to the development of something called Vitalizer, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So when people want to do extraordinary things, they call Shaklee. I love this slide. So this shows a little bit on our pure performance athletes with 137 medals and counting. These are Olympians high-end athletes that are using and trusting Shaklee. And the White House uses Shaklee, and NASA has been using Shaklee for a very long time to help with hydration as the astronauts come back into space. And at our conferences, we often get to hear from United States Olympians. And last year, we got to hear the Kelly brothers, the NASA the space brothers, speak at our conference, which is pretty cool. So everything that you're going to hear tonight when we get to the supplementation part has a 100% money back guarantee. So our health chat tonight, like I've said, is healthy nutrition, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. So I'm going to give you a few different statistics and things that are on these slides. Our diets today tend to be too high in calories and too low in good nutritional value. 9 out of 10 Americans fall short on the essential nutrients in their diets. This comes from the CDC, the Centers of Disease Control, and basically a lot of that is because our food source just isn't what it used to be. There's a lot of genetically modified foods out there, a lot of processed things, fast food, artificial things, sweeteners, colors, things like that. When people eat a diet based on highly refined foods, they tend to consume too many calories and too little nutrition, which leads to excess body weight and nutrient gaps. And studies have shown that people with healthy dietary patterns, including whole grains, fruits, and vegetables rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber, have a lower risk of developing chronic conditions. So a lot of the chronic conditions that we hear about so often, and many of them can be preventable. So how do we build a healthier eating style? This is from choosemyplate.gov. This is a great website to just get some basic information. And you can look at how they want you to focus on variety, amount, nutrition, choosing foods and beverages, which can be a big calorie sucker in our diet, right? Beverages with less saturated fat, sodium, added sugars. Starting with small changes, that can really help to lead to healthier lifestyles. And I really like this picture. I think it's just a beautiful plate of something that just looks wonderful for dinner. And you can see here how it's an example of, 1.5 to 1 cup of whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, gluten-free pasta, 4 to 6 ounces of protein like free-range chicken, wild-caught salmon, tofu, grass-fed beef, beans, legumes, unlimited veggies. And the more color, the better. Lightly steamed or raw is the best if you can do that. Lots of greens, reds, oranges, filling half your plate with vegetables, and picking a healthy fat because the fat is important, like a fat dressing. 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil or an olive oil-based dressing, a quarter of an avocado, maybe a little bit of shredded cheese. And that helps to emulsify the fat, soluble vitamins in your food and also in your supplements. So small changes can really add up over time. Some things that we can do is add your favorite healthy foods to your regimen, trying to focus on cleaner eating, cooking more at home instead of going out for meals out, because a lot of times there's a lot of unhealthy choices out there, lots of extra sodium and things like that and fat that make it taste so good, right? But it's also adding on calories. Experiment with healthier ingredients, and maybe I love to make a homemade pizza at home with my kids using whole grain homemade crusts that I make, and making my own sauce, a little bit of cheese. It doesn't have to be globs of cheese, and lots of different vegetables and different things. We can make a healthier option maybe for Friday night pizza with our kids, and it doesn't have to be something from a restaurant that's less healthy. And then, of course, coupling that with a nice green salad always works. Incorporate physical activity into your day, and that's so important. I know Katie's on the line today. I'm not going to put her on the spot with this slide, but she's going to talk in a little bit. She's a personal trainer, and we did something at her house recently on healthy weight, and she talked about, finding an exercise that you like, not jumping into something that you really are going to dread because you won't stick with it. So finding something, starting small if you're not used to exercising, but really finding something that you really enjoy. If you hate running, don't be a runner. If you like yoga, go do that. Do different things and kind of maybe vary it up. Okay, adding fruits and vegetables, substituting fruits for sugary treats. We don't want to have the sugary treats. In moderation is fine, but really looking, a lot of fruit can be really sweet and delicious. Guys, as you're coming on, if you wouldn't mind muting your line, that would be helpful. I don't think I can mute. Hey, Yuna, I don't think I can mute from my end anymore as we're going. So go ahead and mute your phone, or in the bottom left corner, you'll find a microphone that you can mute. So adding fruits and vegetables to your day is really important. Fruits and vegetables contain many of the nutrients, antioxidants, if you will, that we need to combat aging and chronic diseases. And eating at least 7 servings per day, trying for the organic when possible and things that are in season. That'll be a little bit less expensive. Going to your farmer's market, getting some fresh produce, and adding them to every single meal. And if you have kids or grandkids, encouraging that with them as well, especially at an early age. If they grow up with that, then they're more likely to be going for those types of foods when they are making their own choices. So some of the nutrients found in fruits and vegetables are vitamins A, B, C, E, iron, lycopene, and beta carotene. And you can see that some examples there in that wonderful picture. Calcium, so important for bone density. We are continually building on bone until about the age of 30, and then after that we want to make sure that we're really maintaining what we have. So you can see here, men and women ages 18 to 50 need 1,000 milligrams of calcium per day. Women over 50, 1,200 milligrams, and men over 70 need 1,200 milligrams per day. You can get some calcium from dairy, of course, and dark leafy green vegetables. Dairy foods are the most common ways to consume calcium, and but if you're not a big dairy eater, like my family's not, dairy can be very inflammatory, and my kids have some issues with GI upset with dairy, so we have to be careful with that. So you can look to fortified soy products, increasing dark leafy green vegetables, and considering a calcium supplement to meet your needs without the calories, which is what we do in my family. Including proteins. Protein's so important. It's the building block of all cells in the body. So you want something, a little bit of protein with every single meal. It's going to fuel you. Carbs will make you crash. If you have a good protein in the morning, that's really going to fuel your day. Looking for plant-based proteins such as beans, lentils, legumes, soy foods, and tofu. If you're not vegetarian, you can look for lean proteins, fish, skinless poultry, lean red meats, eggs, nuts. And you can see that protein has vitamin B, vitamin E, iron, zinc, magnesium, really, really important. Healthy fats, like I said before, healthy fats help us to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, so that's really important. You want to primarily use saturated fats like olive oil, really limiting saturated fats, trans fats when that's possible, and omega-3 fatty acids. That's found in healthy fish and also in a good supplement like a fish oil, omega-3 fatty acids. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We can get some important fats from plant options like flaxseed oil, avocado, chia seeds are great. I love to add those to my smoothies, but one thing I learned in a nutrition class I took a couple years ago is if you're going to add flax seeds or chia seeds to a smoothie, don't blend them. Stir them in after you're all blended up because it will actually break up the fiber, which we don't want when you blend them. Just a little side note on that. Walnuts, sacha inchi oil, and for the EPA and DHA, you want to eat 2 to 3 times a week a good healthy fish. Now, it's tricky to get good fish these days because a lot of it is contaminated with mercury and lead and hormones and dyes and things. So often people are now looking towards a good supplement for your fish oil, which is what I'm going to talk about in a little bit as well. So everyday life can be fast-paced, daunting. It's easy to go for the fast food stuff, long commutes, stressful jobs, financial worries, juggling things in your family's lives. It's so easy to go and just stop quick, but getting out of that habit and building yourself up for success by having some different healthier options in your car, in your purse, maybe packing a cooler if you know you're going to be on a long drive. And, the less than healthy food choices, they give us a lot of calories, but because they're lacking in vitamins and minerals, we're getting more calories, but we're not getting what our body really needs. And this really results in the low energy and also adding on weight. I love this slide. If you've heard me talk about this before, I stop on this one because I just think it's so pretty. But you would have to eat all of this organically to really get what you need on a day-to-day basis for your vitamins, minerals, all of that. And what I'm going to talk about next, I'm going to go into the smart supplementation piece of this talk tonight, and I'm going to talk about something that I just love, and that is our Vitalizer strip of vitamins that Shaklee makes. And this really helps for me and many people that I help with this, to fill in those nutritional gaps, because it really is difficult to get what we need from food alone. So we have different nutritional needs at different stages of life. This is from children's stage of life to adult, elderly, people who are pregnant or nursing. We have different health needs. And nutritional gaps and our ever-changing needs underscore the importance of supplementation. So what we're going to talk about is using different things to kind of fill in some of those gaps. This is Dr. Daggy, who is a friend of my family, and he's just an all-around great guy. He's the Chief Science Officer at Shaklee Corporation, and we're really fortunate to have him at the helm. He has a nutrition degree from Cornell. He's just very knowledgeable. And he says that Americans as a whole are overfed and undernourished. We need more nutrients delivered in fewer calories. And that's where I was going with that slide a little while ago with the fast food. We're getting more calories, but less nutrients. We need more nutrients delivered in fewer calories. And they should be delivered without harmful levels of contaminants, such as heavy metals, pesticides, which a lot of our food has these days. He also says that quality supplements are a proven means to achieve the goal of improved nutrition. And so, giving up the fast food and the sodas and looking to healthier eating options, and also that smart supplementation. So keep cells vital and strong. This is a wonderful supplement that I love to share on, and this is called Vivix. And there was a study done not too long ago that we affectionately call the Burger King study, where they took two groups of college students and fed them each 1,000-calorie Burger King breakfast. And the first group, they gave them Vivix. About 30 minutes before they ate this breakfast, they had this Vivix supplement, which is an anti-aging, anti-inflammatory supplement. And the other group, they did not. And an hour after they ate this, they took blood from these students that were part of this study, and the group that had the Vivix showed no inflammation whatsoever, no traces that they had eaten this unhealthy meal. However, the other group did show the inflammation response that you would expect after eating a high-calorie meal like that at a fast food place. This just talks a little bit more about Vivix, and it's 13 times more powerful than resveratrol alone. Resveratrol is that ingredient that is talked about with red wine. Why you've heard have a glass of red wine a day, and that's good for your heart. That's the resveratrol in there. But this supplement is 13 times more powerful than resveratrol alone, and it has slowing the key mechanism of aging. So in this study that was done, Vivix helped to show the ingredients in Vivix help to slow the formation of age proteins, which can lead to cellular damage, which we don't want. And this is another study that we talk about with telomeres. And if you're not familiar, telomeres are, if you think about your shoelaces and those little end caps on the ends of your laces, our DNA have an end cap like that. And the longer our caps on our DNA, that can be an indication of longevity and overall health. And when they did this preliminary study using Vivix, they saw that Shaklee users who took Vivix had a 40% lower rate of telomere shortening across the adult age range compared to a healthy control group. And you can see here how they projected out that an 80-year-old person using Shaklee would have the same telomere length as a 41-year-old non-Shaklee user, which is pretty interesting. And what I've been learning about telomeres is it's not a life sentence. We can reverse that if we're heading towards having shorter telomeres and a non-healthy lifestyle. We can repair that. We can build that up with smart supplementation, smart diet and exercise, and weight control. So that Vivix supplement that was in that beautiful picture with all the fruits and vegetables that I showed you a little while ago, this is something unique to Shaklee. And from our landmark study at UC Berkeley that I talked about, this had come about. And this is basically showing that every supplement in that little strip of vitamins is specially coded, so it's guaranteed to get where it needs to be in the body before it breaks down for optimal benefit. This is unique to Shaklee, and that's true for the multiple vitamin in that, the B and C complex. B is helpful for energy, for mood, for cravings of sugar and carbs. Vitamin C, of course, is well known for immune function. And then this purpley one is, it has your carotenoids, which is like your antioxidants, vitamin E for circulation, omegas, like the fish oils, really healthy source of that, and your probiotic. guarantee this tiny little guy has a special coating to get all the way down to the lower intestine where it needs to be. And what we're learning is more and more science is coming out showing that when our gut flora, that bacteria in our lower intestine is off because of diet, because of medications, because of toxins in our food, in our environment, things like that. When that gut flora is off, it can lead to so many different health issues, even things like attention issues and autism and there's so many. I was just on a podcast the other day talking about it. Of course, the GI stuff that you would expect, like Crohn's and IBS and things like that, but weight issues, sleep issues. There's so much that is controlled. Our immune function is controlled by the gut. So when we have good bacteria there, which can be from a good probiotic like this one, we can really help to replenish the good bacteria and combat a lot of those other health issues. So don't skip breakfast. I talk to people about this a lot. I'm trying to lose weight. I'll just skip breakfast. I'm not much of a breakfast eater. I don't really like breakfast. I'll just have my coffee. Well, that's not a great idea because it's kind of like when you want to take a long trip by car, you want to put the good gasoline in, fill up your tank before you go. You don't want to run on fumes, run on empty, or put diesel in your car when it takes regular gas, right? You want to put good stuff. And that's what I like to kind of draw the analogy to a good breakfast. So eating a good breakfast will give you that nutrition and energy for the day. Choosing foods that are rich in protein, like I said before, that's that building block of cells. That's what gives us the energy and doesn't cause the crash right away, like a carb breakfast would. Fiber, which will help to energize your body, and coffee is not breakfast. The energizing shake, which I want to talk about next, is an excellent meal on the go. And this is what I've been having for probably 7 years now, since Benjamin was in the NICU. I started to have a shake, a Shaklee shake, and it's great fuel. It tastes great. There's many different variations and varieties on flavors. You can blend in different fruits and vegetables and different things. My very favorite shake in the whole wide world, and if you know me, you know this shake, is I blend up our vanilla life shake with spinach, kale, a little bit of banana, guys, because that's got a lot of sugar, but it will kind of combat that bitterness of the greens. Frozen mango and frozen pineapple, and then I usually use water as my base, so I usually use about 3 scoops of protein instead of milk with 2 scoops, but you can kind of play around with that. My kids love it. My husband loves it. And we make a huge family shake in the morning. That's what I have for breakfast. And that's what supplements the rest of my family's breakfast. It's got pre and probiotics in it. It's got fiber. Of course, it's got the protein, non-GMO protein, which is an important thing when you're looking at a soy protein. We have different options, but soy is the most popular and is the best plant-based protein out there. So that's what my family chooses. And it's got some omegas in there, and it can help with healthy weight. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. We have a couple foundational regimens that I wanted to share with people who, if you're looking for a good foundation, and I draw the analogy of building a house. You wouldn't build a house on sand, of course. You want to make sure that your builder lays a very good foundation for your house to stand on. Same thing with our body, same thing with our cells. We're sloughing off cells every single day. We want to make sure that we're rebuilding those cells every single day with good vitamins, nutrients, protein. That's the building block of our body, right? And so this is a very good comprehensive, it's the best comprehensive nutritional system in the world based on decades of Shaklee science. This is called our life plan. And I'm not going to go through all the details on there, but I have basically a good, better, best. This is a really great option. This is also a good option with that vitalizer strip that I talked about earlier. The one that I just talked about, Life, has that Vivix from the Burger King study in it, which makes it kind of our Mercedes, what we have. It's an excellent choice. And this one, the vitalizer, has that strip of vitamins that I was showing you earlier that came out of that landmark study. Also coupling that with a couple cans of the Life Shake, which is just this is what I have every day for breakfast, and I just love it. And then we have a little bit more simplistic, but still a great foundational regimen with a can of protein, a multiple vitamin called Vital E, which is in those strips. It's just by itself. And that Omega Guard. Now, Shaklee's Omegas, whether it be in one of the strips of vitamins or here, it comes from a cold water fish. It goes through a triple distillation process to ensure that there's no mercury, lead, contaminants, and it's just a really great source of omega-3s, which is great for heart health, for brain health, for eye health, for attention. Many, many things are good benefits of omegas. Okay, healthy weight. I'm going to briefly talk about this because many people have health issues that stems from being at an unhealthy weight. Often when people are able to lose 5 or 10 pounds, that can reverse things, blood sugar issues, different, health ailments, joint issues, things like that. And we have our healthy weight program, which is called Shaklee 180. It's a clinically tested weight loss program that basically helps people to lose the weight, but lose the fat, burn, not lose the muscle. And that's the important thing. It's got something called leucine, which is an amino acid that's been shown clinically. That's kind of our secret ingredient. And there's different packages with this. This happens to be the turnaround kit, which gives you a lot. And it's a great place to start for people who want to lose 10 or more pounds. Now, if you can see there, I put my pictures up at the top. After my kids, I was at a very unhealthy weight. I was a hormonal mess. And that's when I started to take the Vitalizer and the protein and some of these nutritional, like the energizing tea, the snack bars, just out of convenience in the beginning. And I was able to, over time, it's not a fast loss because we want it to sustain. Over time, I was able to lose, and you see me in this middle picture. And then when I actually did the program with exercise and really did it the right way, I was able to really lose and keep it off now for about 6-7 years. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. What I want to talk about next, and then I'm going to turn it over to Katie for a minute or two to share. We have something called a cleanse. It's a fresh start cleanse. Shaklee has a healthy cleanse, and we take it a little bit of a step further based on a program that was made by Nidra Sar, who's a nutritionist in Shaklee. She's been with the company for 20 plus years. And I've done this program myself a couple times now over the past year and a half. I've done the training on it. Some of you on this call tonight have done this program. And it's a wonderful 5-week program, has 2 phases that really helps you, as you can see here, to increase energy, have better focus and clarity, boost the immune system, improve digestion, reduce cravings, and there's step-by-step full support from myself and our team, and it's just a wonderful program. But Katie, if you don't mind unmuting and just sharing briefly, I know you've done Fresh Start, you've had some people go through Fresh Start on your team. If you can just share your experiences on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I did the Fresh Start Cleanse at the end of April or beginning of March, and it was a really good experience. I had gotten in the habit with my job, grabbing a couple pieces of candy, and then eventually after that it would be a handful and then just 2 handfuls. So I just wanted something to kind of restart and kick those cravings. And the Fresh Start Cleanse really helped. Rebecca was always supportive through the first week, because that's the hardest, but you can do anything for a week. And I had my 2 really good friends that joined me, and both of them saw really good results. And I lost about 7 pounds in the first week. And through the 5-week program, I've been able to kind of change my attitudes around eating. And now I don't need those extra pieces of chocolate or candy after groups at work. And I've been able to keep those pounds off. So that's really exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, you look great, and you've been inspiring people to do Fresh Start and to kind of kickstart metabolism and get things going. It's a great program, and I can't say enough about it. We have another group starting at the beginning of July, so if people are interested in that, please talk to me or the person that invited you to listen tonight. Okay, I have a couple more slides. This is something that we have on special this month, in the month of June, and I wanted to make sure I included this because it's a great special. We've been talking about weight and kind of getting metabolism where it needs to be, and Shaklee has a starter kit of 180 that is just so great, and basically you're going to get 2 cans of the Life Shake, which has, you can pick your flavors, a box of snack bars, which I love to just have in my car, in my purse, just on the go. It's just a really great bar for blood sugar issues, if you have that. In fact, at Katie's meeting over the weekend, one of her friends that is a member in Shaklee in her group has type 1 diabetes, and she said that the snack bars have really, as well as the shakes, have really helped her to keep her blood sugar where they need to be. So if you're a diabetic and if you're crashing a little bit and your blood sugar is getting too low and you need to eat something, the snack bars have been really helpful for her. so it doesn't spike and have that, high, like a candy bar would have that high spike and then the crash again. You're going to get the multiple vitamin, Vital E, and also metabolic boost, which is really great for boosting metabolism, which naturally gets lower as we age. And it also is great for sugar cravings, for a little bit of a boost in energy, and naturally, because it has a little bit of a green tea extract in it. I've noticed that when I couple the boost, the metabolic boost, with my workouts, it really helps to increase my response time and my clothes start to fit better and that kind of thing. So it's a wonderful program. And you can see here that they have this on special in June, $50 off of the retail price. It's $150 for this kit in June. It's normally $169 for members. Now, if you're not a member, and I'm going to talk about that in a second here, you can get a membership with this for free. And this ends on June 30th. Now, with this kit, as you can see here, when you buy this kit in June, you're also going to get free shipping on any July order automatically, which is a great savings as well. So it's a really, really great deal. I want to make sure I talked about. The last thing I don't have a slide on that I want to make sure I mention is some of you have tried our Life Shake in the peach flavor, summer peach, which honestly, I'm a hard sell. I like my vanilla and adding my own stuff. I love the peach. And I got an email today from Shaklee. Some of you got the email. They're expected to sell out by tomorrow. So if you haven't gotten the peach, or if you like it, put an order in tonight because it's going to sell out, and that's it. It was a seasonal flavor. I've gone through several canisters already because I love it. Okay. Shaklee Health Print. If you don't know what this is, please talk to the person that invited you, including myself. It's a wonderful, quick assessment. It takes 5 minutes. It's 20 questions. It gives you a free personalized health assessment at the end. And if you haven't already, we have a special that's been ongoing, and it's going to go through at least August, where you can get a free product. After you take this, it's going to give you some product recommendations. If you choose to go through that and maybe even customize your own recommendations around that, which is fine, you can get a free product, free membership if you're not a member. It's just a really great tool. So make sure you get that link and at least check out the free part of it. And it's a great tool. Okay, the last slide, use, share, build. People join Shaklee for one of 3 reasons, and some of you are on the call that are already members, and that falls into the use category, where you're using these superior products that we talked about tonight, and you're getting them at a discounted rate from 15 to 25% off the retail price, always. There's usually a one-time fee of $20 to be a member, but we have several options right now, including any of the packages I talked about tonight that waive that fee, and you get that for free, that membership for free. And so that's the use category. It's kind of like joining Sam's Club or Costco. You don't have an annual fee. You don't have any monthly requirements with ordering. It's basically very flexible to you and gets you into a preferred customer club. And then for some people, they fall into the sharing category, where they've been using the products, they're liking them, they're noticing a difference, they're already kind of telling their friends, families, neighbors about it, coworkers, and from that, they become maybe a distributor that just wants to casually share. And in doing that, you can earn back thank you checks from the company. And people in this category earn anywhere from $10 a month back, anywhere to $500 a month back. And then some people fall into the building category. And I've gone through all of these, and basically when I'm in the building category, which is where I've been, it's very rewarding to help people, but what I love about it for me is I can do that from home. With my kids, I can supplement our income, I can pay down our student loans, which we have a lot of, and in that, and helping people, helping them to empower and inspire to a healthier life for them and their families, I'm able to help my family gain better health. I'm always gaining knowledge, which I love, but it's also helped David and I to go on some free Shaklee trips, which I always love and appreciate. I was just in Playa del Carmen, Mexico in April, and it's just wonderful, red carpet, all expense paid. And then we also drive a Shaklee, I say we, David also drives a Shaklee bonus car. I drive our minivan with our kids 90% of the time, but we have a 2016 car that we bought last year, and it's been a real blessing, but again, a side benefit. So if that sounds like something that you want to learn more about, please talk to me or anybody that introduced you to this video tonight, because we can share more information and see if that might be a fit for you and for our team. So that's what I have. Let me stop the screen share. And sorry, let me just get where I need to be. There we go. Share.